Hey guys, my name is Juna Lee, for those of you who don't know me. I am pre-recording this because I have a 5-month-old and normally 8:30, 9 o'clock at night I am putting her to bed and nursing her, and I didn't really want to have to deal with trying to do a training for you guys and putting her to bed and possibly waking her up and having her be really fussy. It just would have been a mess. So I decided to pre-record this, and the topic that I'm going to talk to you tonight about is your vision. So last week, if you were on or if you watched the recording that Courtney did, it was on goals, setting goals for yourself. And you can take your goals and start aligning them so that you can get your vision. And some of you might be like, well, what's your vision? And if you were with us on our team, I honestly don't remember how long ago it was, but maybe 5-6 months ago, Andrea and Amanda Francis did a great training on vision board, creating a vision board, which is basically like the bigger picture of what your goals are working towards. So just to go back to something that Courtney said last week that I really took away, and it has always, over the past week, been on my mind as a great quote that Courtney came up with. I don't think she took it from anything. I think it was something she said. And that was basically, whatever your goals are, as long as you're working towards them and you're putting forth that effort to reach that goal, you have to celebrate that you put forth that effort, because it's going to get you closer to your big vision. And I'm going to talk to you about how to come up with your vision here in a minute. So keep that in mind, whatever your goals are, whether they're for you personally or for your family or for the business itself or for your team, whatever it is, you're going to work towards creating a big picture for your vision board. And also personal development comes into this too. And obviously this whole training has been focused on your mindset, getting it in a right spot for you to feel good about yourselves so that you can work on other parts of your life and this business. So basically today, and this whole week, from here on out, it's going to be crossing that line from working on you to going over into the business, if that's what you wish. If you still just want to focus on yourself, that's totally fine. But this whole vision thing that I'm going to talk to you about will really cross over into the business side of things. So what is your vision? I'm going to screen share in a minute what my vision board looks like, and explain to you what my goals have been to help me reach some of the things that are on my vision board, which has to be updated. I actually have achieved some of those things that I set 6 months ago or so, and other things are going to need to be updated because either things change, life happens, and I can't do what I set on my vision board. So I will show you that in a minute. But personal development, guys, make sure that you're in the right spot. Make sure you're reading something every single day or listening to something every day. Just because obviously if you can't feel the best or inside and out, and your mindset isn't in the right spot, how are you going to be able to be good for your family? How are you going to be able to help others? And so that's why personal development is so huge for us in this business and in life in general. So I personally have my personal goals. I have my spiritual goals, my business and team growth goals, and I also have family goals and financial goals. So I have about 5 things that I break down into goals and then put on my vision board. So I am going to show you my vision board. And I have my vision board on my laptop as my whatever you call it, desktop, your screen, your background there. I also have it on my binder, which I can show you. I printed it off So it's right there on my binder where I keep all my power hours and everything like that. I also have it on my bulletin board here to remind me. And then I also do have it on my phone, just so that way I am constantly being reminded of what I'm doing this for. Why am I coaching? Why am I working on myself so much? So obviously you can see on my desktop that this was the initial vision that I made for myself, vision board. And like I said, it does have to be updated here and there in certain spots. So if you did the training with Amanda and Andrea months ago, this is kind of, I'm going to just reiterate some things that they said. So basically starting out, you pick your colors that you really, really love. I pick, you know, pinks and blues are like my thing. I love the oceany blue, greenish color. I love pink. I love purple, yellow. Those are the brighter colors are my thing. And I use them in my posts every single day on Facebook and Instagram. I don't do them with all my pictures or anything, but I do add a lot of banners that are those colors with certain fonts. I pick about 2 or 3 fonts and use them on my posts. And that way people, when they're scrolling through on Facebook or Instagram, they'll know that that's my post. They know my colors, they know my fonts. Candace, I think, has said numerous times that she scrolls through and she sees things that are mine, and other people even are really good with branding themselves. So that's all about branding. But anyways, to go through with the vision board that I have here, I set some goals to help me reach what I have here. So like I want to be able to have a total of 50 coaches by the end of this year on my team. I have 18 currently, so I'm slowing down. I need to really kick myself in the butt. It's sometimes a challenge being home with a 4-year-old and a 5-month-old. But I shouldn't make excuses, and I do need to work on growing my team. So I still have the rest of this year to achieve that. And how am I going to do that? I just need to really get on Messenger and message more people, invite more people to the team, invite more people to check it out. Courtney and I run 2 times a month, we run our sneak peek. So we are being consistent in that and having an opportunity for our team to invite to that. So again, that's my goal. So I'm working towards that. It's just about getting out there and inviting and getting over that fear of people saying no, because we know that rule of for every 10 people that you invite, 1 person will say yes. So if I want to try and, you know, have 5 coaches join me this month, I really need to set the standard high and get that ball rolling to invite. I wanted to be 2-star by Summit. That hasn't happened, and that's okay. My goal is still to be 2-star by the end of the year. So I'm really trying to help my strong business coaches grow their team and working on helping them reach their goals as well. So again, like I said, I need to update that. And this is where the mindset comes in with personal development. I'm not heartbroken over not achieving that goal. I just tell myself, okay, it didn't happen, and here's why. And I know that I'm putting forth the effort that I need to for my team. So I don't feel like I messed up anywhere. I just feel like it takes everybody a different amount of time to get to certain goals. So I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing and, you know, read more personal development and find new ways to help my team better, so that by the end of the year I am 2-star, and that just means that my team is rank advancing as well. In the middle, I had some financial goals. So I wanted to be able to achieve $1,200 a month by Summit. I have exceeded that. I'm actually making about $1,500 to $1,700 a month. My ultimate goal is to basically double that by September, we'll see how that goes. Again, that's, that might be updated to by December, by the end of the year, to make $3,000 a month. I am paying off debt. We have paid off a credit card, which I am majorly happy about. So setting different goals for yourself, whether they're financial or business related, you organize it the way you want on your vision board. Daily, I put daily goals for myself. I want to be able to work out every single day. Get desired bod back after baby number 2. I'm working on that. When I am nursing, and so I do know that the extra 5 to 6 pounds that I'm carrying is going to stay, and I'm okay with it because I want my milk production to stay up for her. So once we hit that 1-year mark and we start to wean, then I will be back hopefully to my pre-baby weight. But that's not my big goal right now. Personal development, I would love to be able to read and listen to personal development way more than I currently do, but I am getting at least 10 pages in every single day. Sometimes I do morning and night, and I try to listen to some podcasts in the middle of the day at some point. When I was working and teaching, I have a 70-mile round trip every single day, so I would listen to podcasts in the morning and afternoon on my way to work and home. So I'm just getting those things in. And then I'm drinking Shakeology. Duh, I'm always going to drink that, whether I'm a coach or not, or your customer. I just love it. 80 to 90% clean eating, that's me. I know myself, I cannot stick to it 100%. I love sweets. Even with Shakeology, I still need some sort of chocolate, so like chocolate cookie or something like that. I know myself, and I know that I'm not going to set my standard of clean eating so high that I'm not going to be able to achieve 100% clean eating. So my goal is 80 to 90% clean eating as much as possible. Obviously, some days, some weekends, when you have parties and things like that, you can try to set yourself up for success by preparing ahead of time. But again, I know me, and I'm not going to do that. I like to indulge. I am a foodie. I love food. Again, leading team daily. So I'm trying to be a good leader and give my team the tools that they need to get to where they want to be. I want to inspire and motivate them. I want to inspire and motivate others on Facebook and Instagram. Those are my 2 platforms. And show them that whether through health and fitness and the programs that we have, or through the business, they can do it too. And then something big for me, as a child, I was always into going to church every single Sunday with my mom. And by the time I got to college, I went a couple times a month with some of my girlfriends at school. And then after that, I kind of got out of it. As soon as I graduated college, it was kind of like winging it. And then I got married, and we tried going to his church and my family's church, and we did every other weekend, and it was just so hard to go back and forth. And so we got out of it. And then we started only going during holidays and special occasions once we had Joshua, my 4-year-old. And we really need to get back into going daily. I feel different when I go to a church service. And I know not everyone is as religious as others, but spiritually, I personally need to take time to pray and meditate so that my mind is clear, my body, my soul. I just feel better if I take that 5 or 10 minutes in the morning or in the evening, at some point in the day, to meditate and just focus on, what do I want to accomplish for the day? What do I want to do, overall, to whatever my goal is for whatever's on my mind, clear my mind so that I can do it. Okay, sorry, I'm getting into some of this a little too much, but I guess in a way I'm sharing how I'm setting goals for that. Success Club 5 every month. Wait a minute, I kind of dropped the ball. I did great January, February, March, and April of this year, and then May I missed it by 2 points, 1 point, something like that. it was so stupid. I should have just done it and gotten it, and maybe even ordered a challenge pack under my mom, and I never did that. But anyways, so I'm basically starting over. So June I hit it, July working on it right now. And then obviously second summit for me would be this summer, but with my daughter, she's so needy and she won't take a stinking bottle or anything. So we decided, it took a lot of fighting between my husband and me about this. He really encouraged me and said, you know, you really shouldn't go right now. And I know that if I were to take her with me to Summit, it wouldn't have been fun for either of us. So I decided to stay home and forfeit going to Summit this year, which is heartbreaking, but I'm already excited for next year. And I'm hoping that my family will want to come with me at some point to Summit, wherever it is. But I did get the okay from my husband saying, yeah, all future summits, go. He said, I'll be able to handle Joshua and Evelyn just fine, but he knows that at this point, she's only 5 months old, she not taking a bottle and all that stuff, he would have a horrible time trying to handle it himself. So obviously that's still on there. I will update that. Date night 2 times a month. When Evelyn takes the bottle, that is our goal. One of my goals, my vision, is to be able to do that with my husband again, because I miss it. We used to be able to, before having Evelyn, go out a couple times a month. We're blessed to be able to have both sets of parents close by, so the grandparents get to take the kids overnight. They're more than happy to do that. So that is still one of my goals. And then at the very bottom here, I do have work at home mom. That is my ultimate, my big vision. And this is where my vision is helping me stick with coaching, because my husband has this thing about I'll never, I shouldn't say that. He says, why give up retirement and your benefits as a teacher? And he said, maybe when you're making a few $1,000s a week doing this, then we'll talk again. And guess what? That's fuel for my fire. I'm going to keep driving. I'm going to keep doing this, and I'm going to show him that this business is legit and that I can make it work. I'm already making it work. So what's stopping me from keeping on going, right? So don't ever let anybody tell you that you can't do this, okay? Not even your family. I love my husband to death. We've been together for 16 years. And okay, he says, we'll talk again when you're doing this. Game on, brother. You know, like, that's how I feel. Like, I'm not going to let him put me down and say, and he's not even saying don't do this, but he's just saying don't quit your teaching full-time job. And I get it, I do. But my heart is being home with my family and being able to watch them grow. And that's why I'm so grateful for this coaching opportunity, is that it has allowed me to be home for so far 5 months with my kids because of Evelyn being born. And I go back in September. So she'll be 7 months by then. So 7 months of being home because I was able to use my Beachbody income to provide for all of my unpaid time as a teacher. And I don't know if my husband really realizes that. Like, he knows I saved, but I don't think he understands that it is all because of my income from Beachbody. So I do have to kind of share that with him a little more at some point. But that's my vision board. This is where I'm at. I hope I kind of shared with you how your goals, how my goals are helping me reach what's on my vision. Obviously, a 5-star elite team, even if we're a premier team at the end of this year, that would be great. I don't imagine we'd be a 5-star team by the end of the year, but we're working on it. Again, that's me. I got to add some business building coaches to my team. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I hope that you take something away from this. I don't know how clear it was. I didn't create, obviously, a PowerPoint presentation like Courtney and Lindsay did for the other 2 weeks. I just kind of went with it the way that my life is. I kind of just go with it. And I will be on live with you when this is being shown. So if you do have questions, I can kind of type them out unless Evelyn goes down miraculously at 9 o'clock and I can be on face-to-face. But I did want to make sure that this was taken care of ahead of time so that we didn't have any interruptions with the baby. So yeah, I think that's it. Just, guys, picture what you want out of this. So whether it's just personal things that you want in life with personal development, fitness, and Shakeology, or if you're ready to cross over or continue on in this business, why are you doing this? What is the big picture? What do you want to see in 6 months, a year, 5 years within this business? Put it on your vision board, because then it will happen if you set those goals and you put forth that effort, just like Courtney said last week. So that's all I got for you. I hope you got something out of it. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.